Hello everyone! Before we do any trigonometry, we're going to learn how to convert between radians and degrees. What's the point of learning radians, you may ask? Haven't you been using degrees for the past few years in maths class? You may be right, but we learn radians because it is the more common unit of angle used in trigonometric equations and graphs. First, we're going to learn how to convert from degrees to radians and then from radians to degrees. So, what are radians? Pi radians, as denoted by the superscript of the C, is equivalent to 180 degrees. Note that I've included the superscript of C here, but we tend to omit it out of simplicity, which means that any angles without the degree sign is in radians. Let's have a look at this equation in greater detail. We can divide both sides by 180 so that it gives us pi on 180 radians equal to 1 degree. We can do the opposite by dividing both sides by pi so that we get 1 radian equals to 180 over pi degrees. Now, let's learn how to convert from degrees into radians. Remember from the previous slide that 1 degree is equivalent to pi on 180 radians? So, to convert an angle in degrees into radians, you need to multiply the angle by pi on 180. Let's have a look at a few examples. For the angle of 5 degrees, to convert it into radians, we need to multiply it by pi on 180. This gives us 5 pi on 180, which simplifies into pi over 36. Note that your final answer in radians should include the pi in it. Again, I have not included the superscript of a C as is customary for radians. Let's have a look at another example of 30 degrees. To convert it into radians, we need to multiply it by pi on 180, which gives us 30 pi on 180. This can be simplified into pi on 6 radians. And finally, for 300 degrees, we can multiply that by pi on 180, which gives us 300 pi on 180, which simplifies into 5 pi on 3 radians. Here are some useful angles to remember. When I mean useful, I mean we will be dealing with them a fair bit in the future, so I would recommend you to familiarize yourselves with those angles and practice converting each of those angles in degrees into radian form and checking with the answers I've given you here. If you have gotten them right, well done. And finally, we will learn how to convert from radians into degrees. Remember that 1 radian is equivalent to 180 over pi degrees. To convert an angle in radians into degrees, multiply the angle by 180 over pi. For example, for pi on 9 radians, to convert it into degrees, you need to multiply it by 180 over pi. This gives us 180 pi over 9 pi. We can cancel out the pi's and simplify it into 20 degrees. Note that your final answer in degrees should just be a numerical value without a pi in it. Make sure that you do include the degree sign, as any angles without the degree sign is assumed to be in radians form. You do not want to make that mistake. Let's try another example. For 7 pi on 5 radians, we need to convert into degrees by first multiplying by 180 over pi. This simplifies into 1260 pi over 5 pi, and again we can cancel out the pi's and simplify this into 252 degrees. And that's it.